Oh, we are almost set. We are almost set. Beautiful morning in Minnesota. Just hold tight, everybody. Streams are firing up. We got some slow farm internet this morning, so Instagram is up and running. LinkedIn is up and running. YouTube is up and running. Facebook is coming online shortly. Just hold tight, everybody. We got big announcement. If you didn't hear it yesterday, the location of the 2025 Expo is one of the more interesting places we will ever have Expo. So hold tight. That is coming. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Hold tight, everybody. Boy, it's taken a long time to get these feeds fired up this morning. I think we're getting there. We're getting there. Morning, everybody on Instagram. Come on, Facebook. Holy cow, man. Let's get this done. Come on, technology. All right. Couple seconds, guys. 3 of the 4 streams are up and running. We got to get Facebook, the big main one, up there. We're going to do a little open show. So if you guys have any questions, any topics, anything you want to talk about, we are here to talk about it. All right. Here we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. Boy, we had a huge lag in the Facebook stream this morning. Looks like we're all up and running here. Good to see everybody. We got people on Instagram. We got people on Facebook. All right, here we go. Let me just hit a couple. Let me just hit a couple posts real quick, guys. Be just a second. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Ooh, here we go. We already got questions coming in. So, all right, folks. Any question, any topic? It'll be a brief show today. I've been traveling. It's the most beautiful weekend on the planet here in Minnesota. So I'm going to maximize family time today. Good morning. I'm Nick Slavik. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company. I am also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. I've been using my 3 decades plus of experience to go live for, get this, almost 8 years. If I did all my calculations right, the next show is my 8-year anniversary of Ask a Painter Live, plus or minus a show here or there, right? Over 8 years, I'm sure I miscalculated a day or misnumbered a show, but I will tell you this: it is the 8-year anniversary of this show. So if you guys got any suggestions about how we should celebrate, I've already got some things lined up for you. But if you want to see anything special, it's going to be a fun show. Also, I was traveling this week, and we have a big announcement too. So let's go through my. Let's see. We got some events coming up here. So I'm going to be traveling pretty hard here in the month of May. And then I'll be taking a break for summer to lean into my business, lean into my family. And then fall, we're going to pick it back up again. So if you don't see me around for summer, we're all getting busy. We all have painting businesses, right? So let's see. Next week, Syracuse, New York. That's 17 May. Contact your Sherwin-Williams rep to attend that pro show. And then I'm going to Vermont. It'll be 24 May. Contact your rep to attend. It was originally a New Hampshire master's class and pro show, and they switched it to Vermont. So if you see New Hampshire some places and Vermont some places, just know that it's all the same show. Just contact your local Sherwin-Williams rep in order to attend that one, and that's the best way to get in there. So all right. Let's see. Then we have the retreat, summer retreat. We are full up on that one. That's absolutely awesome. I appreciate you guys. We'll be announcing the winter one shortly as well. I'll be at Tom Reber's Mile High Profit Summit, 19 September. I'm doing my annual pilgrimage to SoCal, 27 September for master's classes, and obviously hanging out with all the awesome people at SurfPrep. And then we booked our Gathering of Minnesota Painters big one, the Sherwin-Williams, the Graco, 6 December 2024. That's going to be a big one. I'll be filling in dates as we get more, but those are the dates coming up right now. I will urge you guys too, PCA business training. Take a look at this stuff, get in there, get that business training. The PCA members on average are 15 times larger. 15 times larger than the average painting contractor. So it's a pretty awesome thing, guys, and it's some of the best training you'll possibly get in the industry. And the best part is we can connect you with a whole bunch of coaches, a whole bunch of other contractors, and things like that. So there's really not a there's not like a silver bullet of solution for what we do, right? You just have to get out there. You have to do a whole bunch of consistent things. You got to innovate every once in a while. And the best thing about the PCA business training is that it'll connect you with all the people you need to do that. Because there's not a bit of training where it's just going to be like, yeah, you just watch these videos and you're going to be perfect. The biggest value prop of the PCA training is exactly that, which is you're going to get glimpses into what a professional business is. It's going to connect you with people who can help. And then it's up to you. How much grit, how much professionalism do you have? And there we go. You just got to follow through and get it done. So, all right, that is my calendar of events. That is the PCA business training, and we had a big announcement, guys, yesterday. So here's the deal: PCA Expo. We really wanted to do something special, right? We had been circling around some pretty kind of ordinary places to go, which are always great. They're always great, but the ethos of the PCA and our PCA, the board of directors that I lead with our new executive director, is we really want to knock the socks off everybody. So our executive director and her counterpart went out and toured, I don't know, it must have been 8 different places around the country. They were razzle dazzled. They looked at presidential suites. They looked at layouts, food and beverage budgets, and things like that. And we are proud to announce yesterday, formal announcement, that we are going to the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs. I dare you, Google search this place. Okay. This is one of the nation's oldest historic resorts. 5 stars. If they could give it a 6, they'd probably give it 6. Typically, you would never be able to have a conference there for this price. This is a very special thing that the PCA has lined up for our members. These hotel rooms are typically 3, 4, 5 times more expensive than what they are now. We have actually secured blocks of hotel rooms for less than what we got in Orlando last year. And we are staying at a resort with multiple more stars than that. So Colorado Springs, Colorado, it is going to be an absolutely unique, absolutely amazing thing. I can guarantee you this. Nothing like this has been done in the 140-year history of this nonprofit. So take a look at this. All right. I got to show you this. This place is out of this world. Like, I'm a wilderness guy anyway, and I really like historic structures. And our executive director took some of that guidance from the board, and they did not disappoint. It is an incredible place, guys. It's an incredible place. Everybody's going to have to step up the wardrobe, step up their game. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So the 2025 Senior Open Golf Tournament is going to be there. They have the amenities of this place are just like, guys, it's unbelievable. Search this place out. I'm going to be actually doing another site visit out here. Let's see. We'll probably I'll probably be doing a site visit out here come later this year. But as of course, our executive director did us a super, super sweet thing, which is they found us a really awesome place. And they did of course, the presidential suite is near and dear to my heart, because we always have the club something out there, and hoping to get the penthouse terrace suite out there so we can have our private after hours parties and things out there. It'll be a lot of fun, guys. But I will tell you this. There is almost never a time where we're going to be able to do something like this. Our executive director is connected in professional ways to humans around this United States that I've never seen before. and it is absolutely awesome. People are asking if you should reserve rooms now. So here's the deal. You certainly can, but in rapid succession, what you're going to find is this, which is the PCA has this, the Expo landing page here. Registration is not open. Room blocks are not open. We literally just signed the contract for this place like a day before we announced it. So it's all there. It's ready to go. But I would say this: don't reserve your rooms yet, because you will get a very good rate now, but we have not officially released the room blocks for this place yet. There's also so I would just wait a little bit. You can always contact the PCA. I would check this page right below me, the Painting Contractors Expo page here, and there, the second we have registration open, the second room blocks are open, you'll be able to have links through there. I will say this: there's tons of people who love to get Airbnbs and all this other stuff. I will tell you this, guys. For whatever reason you have Airbnbs, if you must have one, you are going to miss out on one of the experiences of a lifetime if you do not stay on site at this place. Like, this expo is going to be uneffing believable. You have no idea. We have an expo committee made up of some of the best contractors, best entrepreneurs, best thought leaders on the planet. Maggie Kuiper, beloved Maggie Kuiper, has handed her torch off. She planned the entire last expo with her team and the PCA support staff. She handed that torch off to Brad Ellison, another friend of ours, a servant leader. And you're going to find people like Tanner Mullen and all these others on that expo committee there. There is going to be a rigorous set of education and learning and experiences at this expo. We typically work on the expo for a year. There's probably about 15 people who put about a year's worth of work into making sure an expo gets there for you guys. So, guys, this is awesome. This is going to be truly unique. I will tell you what, if you had a little FOMO, fear of missing out from the last one, if you're not at this one, you are going to truly miss an experience of a lifetime. I am not kidding you. We have so much to tell you guys. We have so much to show you guys. And as an organization, a 140-year-old nonprofit that serves to build better businesses, I can tell you this: this is going to be a singular event in the 140-year history of this entire organization. You are going to miss out. This will never be replicated again. You are going to miss out big time if you don't join us here for this one. So we are looking forward to that one, guys. It is going to be absolutely awesome. Like I said, keep checking back with the expo page, and we can, we'll make sure we update that as soon as possible. If you got any questions, you can always contact the PCA through the website. But otherwise, just hold tight, guys. Lots more to follow. So, okay, any question, any topic? Let's see here. Oh, I was just in Florida. Go Flap, gathering of Florida painters. Tanner Mullen is our servant leader down there. He's the organizer of the gathering group. Me and Jason Paris, my travel buddy, we went down there, and we went to support Tanner and all our friends down there. And I will tell you this: there is a really robust, unique group of people down in the Orlando area there, as far as contractors and entrepreneurs. We had amazing support from Regal Paints, a Benjamin Moore dealer. They have a very inspirational story about how they came to be. And the owner and his son, who has just passed the torch to his son as the new president, gave us amazing stories. Last year, story of the company. This year, stories, some of his origin stories and struggles, and it's absolutely awesome. He's one of us. He's a servant leader. He's an amazing entrepreneur. And then we had presenter after presenter after presenter, just awesome stuff. And Jason and I, we were there on behalf of the PCA, on behalf of just friendship of everybody down there, and we did an open Q&A session, and we actually turned it into an Ask a Painter Live. And if you have not heard that, that is episode number, let's see, what is this number right here? I can't see it on any of my stuff here, but it's the one just previous to this, maybe 414, give or take. Let's see here. Yeah, it'd be 414 is the number of that show. And Paris got a little spicy with the crowd. So he is retired. He's moved on from official board duty. He's ex officio. He's past chair. So he's kind of like, Maggie, the vice chair, would be my right hand. Jason would be my left hand, the immediate past chair. And now that he's kind of moved out of official stuff, he says a lot of things that are very direct to the industry. And it's awesome, man. It's just absolutely awesome. So he gave some of the most pointed advice that's true and helpful that I've ever heard in the industry. So you're going to want to watch that. So let's see. Next week we're traveling, to Syracuse, and the one after that, Vermont. And we're going to have a lot of fun, guys, as we move into summer. So let's take a couple questions here. Mark Rufino. Dude, great to see you, man. St. Louis, one of the hot spots of contractors in the US. We got a question here. Let me hide. Let me get Mark Rufino up there. Also, thanks to Tanner, limited edition premium painting, his own painting company hat, Alpine. My brothers from another mother's out there in New Jersey and all along the East Coast. I've been asked to paint a metal roof on a building, one coat of oil-based primer and two top coats of paint. What would you charge per square foot? So here's the deal. I can actually, because we do production rates and stuff, I can actually give you some. All right, here's the deal. I will give you some data. If you copy exactly what I tell you and put it there, you will probably be wrong. You will probably overcharge or undercharge. You're going to need to run this through and do a sniff test on it. But when we do, I am looking at my price Bible right now. There's only a couple things that we actually measure out. And some of those are metal buildings, pole buildings, and commercial buildings like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a data point. But what I want you to do is run it through your own filter, make a project plan and figure out how many hours the job is going to take you and apply that charge rate and see how much revenue per hour you're going to take. So Mark Rufino, what is a sniff test? You write up an estimate, you see the number at the bottom, you make a project plan, you calculate your hours. A sniff test is, does this pass the sniff test? Like you can do the math and it'll spit out a number, but you have to apply some intelligence to it. You can't just dumb follow the math and charge that because it's going to be an uninformed number. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a couple numbers to consider. And then I want you to write up an estimate, write up a project plan, figure out how many days, how many hours it's going to take, and then use that to judge how much revenue per hour you're going to make. So, all right. So you said I've been asked to bid one coat of oil primer and two coats of top coat. Number one, what I will say is do not ever let the client dictate what painting process or coatings that you use. As professionals, they should only, okay, they can do that, but you have to say, listen, if you want this metal roof painted, I understand that you want a coat of oil primer and that, but that might be the solution. But as a professional, what I'm going to do is tell you, this is what I would do, or apply a couple options. So number one, let's talk. Thanks for the square footage, by the way. Number one, let's talk about the actual process. So if it is previously painted metal that is in good condition, I would do some scratch tests. So apply some coatings. You might be able to get by with it. My goal is always a 2-coat process. You should try a 2-coat process, but you got to do an adhesion test. I would use some Sherwin-Williams industrial products if you're able. If you do need to prime it, there's a couple different ways you can go. You can go DTM bonding primer, which is great for really metal in great condition, bare or painted, things like that. If it's kind of rusty, if it's kind of sunblasted, things like that, minimal prep, kind of not great substrate, you can use Sherwin-Williams Chem Chromic. That's sort of like the nuclear option. Sticks to almost everything, minimally prepped surfaces. You do got to do some washing and prep though if there's scaly rust. And then you have a couple options. You can use DTM. You can use Duration. I've used that before. You can use Sure-Acryl HPA, which is kind of like the Cadillac option. DTM is always a great choice out there. Now, there's a whole bunch of others, industrial coatings. You can use all-purpose enamel. You can do all that stuff. But I will tell you this, the DTM line is bomb-proof for this sort of thing. The Sure-Acryl HPA is kind of like next-level Cadillac stuff. So I would look into that. You can even have your Sherwin rep write you a spec for that thing. So, okay. What would you charge per square foot? I'm going to give you some numbers, but again, you have to make a project plan. You have to see how many hours it's going to take you. If you take this number and just put it on your estimate, you're likely going to way overcharge or way undercharge, depending on you and your area and all that other stuff. So number one, a roof. We have charged, and this really depends. We don't have one single rate. We have charged, I'm looking at my data points here. We have charged 88 cents a square foot for a 2,200 square foot. We have charged $1.50 a square foot for a 1,700 square foot roof. We have charged 67 cents a square foot for a 4,300 square foot roof. So what you can see in my company, there takes a certain amount of setup. The smaller the roof, we've charged as much as $1.50 a square foot. We've charged as little as 67 cents a square foot. So if you have a 5,400 square foot, 5,400, we'll take my lowest and highest charge rate. My lowest charge rate is 0.67. 5,400 times 0.67. That'd be 36.18. I would not do it for that. 5,400 square feet. So here's 5,400 square feet divided by, let's just call it 300 square feet a gallon. You're going to use 18 gallons on a coat. times, let's just call it $45 a gallon. Every coat you do on this building is going to be about $810. So here's the deal, man. There's many ways you can do this. I have some data points where we have charged as little or as much as this, but I will say this. I'm going to give you two ways to come up with the price. You can calculate it by materials. You can calculate it by that. 1.67 times 5,400. That'd be $9,000. I'd feel way more comfortable doing $9,000 to $10,000 for something like that. That's a lot of square footage, man. That is a lot of square footage. You're going to be using a lot of stuff. You're going to have to wash it. You're going to have to do maybe a 2-coat. I always prefer a 2, maybe a 3-coat process. Here's the deal. So what I'm seeing is my data points, and this is what we call a sniff test. I have 3 data points of roofs that we've completed that I use for quick reference. And we go square footage and we go price. I've done as little as 67. I've done as much as $1.60. I've done as much as $1.78. I'm looking at, there's even one on here that we did $3.13. So you can see that there's a lot of data points in here. Here's how we do another sniff test. We figure out materials, we figure out a benchmark, and then we calculate it. So let's just take, this is the theory of how you come up with a potential price based on material usage. So we have 5,400 square feet. So 5,400 square feet like this. I wish I could do some math on screen for you. 5,400 square feet divided by the spread rate of the paint. I'm assuming it's going to be 300 on metal. Could be higher, could be lower, depending on how you put it on. That's going to give us 18 gallons per coat. If you do 3 coats, doesn't matter if it's primer, top coat, whatever. So let's just say we're going to use 18 gallons per coat for a single coat. We're going to assume our cost is $45 a gallon, give or take. That means every single coat we do is going to cost us $810 in paint at our price, right? No sundries, no anything else. Times 3, we'd have $2,430 in paint for 3 coats on this roof. If all those assumptions are correct, it could go up or down 20%, give or take. So now here's how we come up with a potential price. If this is our potential material price and the benchmark in the industry is 15%, if you divide by 15%, this will tell you what you need to charge to keep this amount of materials at the 15% benchmark. So we'll go divided by 0.15. That means $16,000. For a 3-coat process in my company, based on those material assumptions, this is what's called a sniff test. We have some data points here to put us in the right direction. I'm seeing 67 cents. I'm seeing $1.89. I'm seeing a whole bunch of data points in my price Bible. In the end, if we make some assumptions like this, I would say, well, if all that is true and we're going to use $2,400 worth of materials, we're going to have to charge about $16,200 for that sort of thing. Now, here's where the sniff test comes in. Can you charge $16,000 for that? I don't know. You can buy a lot of tin for $16,000, right? So you're always going to be bumping up against that. So that's how we come up with that stuff. You've seen a couple ways that we do this where we have as little as a couple $1,000s. We have a data point where we can come up with a price of $9,000. Then we have $16,000. If my estimator came back to me and said, Nick, I ran the cost of the shed through some stuff and I'm getting, data points between maybe $9,000 and $16,000. What do we do? And I say, well, what would happen if you charge $14,000, $15,000 like that? Do you think you could sell it for that? Do you think there's value in it for the client for something like that? I mean, that's a big shed, man. That's a big shed. So yeah, couple ways we can do it there. I can't tell you exactly what to charge, but I can tell you how you come up with price. And that's basically what we do there. So, yeah. All right. Angel Damaso from Facebook. I was asked to bid an entire repaint on a charter school. How would you go about bidding? What do you bring to a commercial meeting? Certificate of insurance, capability statement. So here's the deal. Before, it depends. I've painted charter schools without them asking for any of that stuff. It really depends on what their internal processes are. If you're working for a large commercial general contractor, they generally are going to ask for all that before they even ask you to bid because they want to know if you're a legitimate contractor. There are a bunch of contractors who kind of just get a bunch of stuff done, and then come tax season, they'll frantically call you and say, hey, we need paperwork on file, certificate of insurance, liability, all this other stuff, W-9, send it on over, things like that. A good contractor will ask all that before. And honestly, Angel, it's in commercial work, a lot of that stuff is just entrance fee stuff. That's not going to make or break whether you get the job. I may be saying things, but really what it is your ability to solve problems for a business. For clients, there's an emotional attachment to some of this paint work, right? They attach some feelings. It's their home. They're working from home, all that other stuff. And really, when you work for other businesses and even general contractors for that matter, um, the big value prop, honestly, in my opinion, is solving a problem for them. Uh, Commercial projects, like when you work for a homeowners association, it's kind of not a, sometimes it's not a passion project. Like people aren't all jazzed up about it, things like that. It's more of a, we have to get this done. We want a professional. We want the least amount of friction. We want the highest value, and we just want it done. We don't want to have to hold people accountable. So, Angel, when you're bidding out stuff like this, certificate of insurance, W-9, that's the minimum to even get you in there to do that. Then it's basically your ability to create confidence, uh, give them a simple promise, make sure you manage yourself so they don't have to manage you, and then deliver on that promise. I mean, it's nothing more than that. And especially when you're dealing with a charter school, an HOA, things like that, there's more than just a couple living in a house with some kids. You might be dealing with hundreds and hundreds of humans. So maintaining professionalism on site and being very quick is a very big value add. If you're there all summer painting this HOA, people are going to get sick of you, man, or this charter school. We just did a childcare center where there's 114 kids that show up every day, and we can't shut this business down. So our guys came in evenings, weekends, they pounded out the hours, got it done. And the people were just overjoyed because nothing changed on their end. We didn't put them out. We didn't say, you got to shut this down. Could you imagine 114 kids have to find alternate healthcare or alternate daycare if we told them we could only work during the days? That is a non-starter. They would laugh in our face. So our ability to professionally solve problems for other businesses is the big value prop there. So, all right, let's see. Angel, thank you for that. Oscar Rojas, I'm going to need some more information, man. Tips on cash flow. Get more cash. That solves cash flow. Now, how you do that is another thing. Top line revenue, gross profit, net profit, all that other stuff. Honestly, tips on cash flow. I'm assuming tips on cash flow, meaning I don't have enough cash, I'd like a little more, things like that. Honestly, job costing is it. It's tracking material, it's tracking labor for every single one of your projects, comparing it to a benchmark to see if your job did good or bad, so that you can make adjustments to either your price or your training or your accountability and things like that. And again, it's a very unsatisfying sort of thing. There's not an app I can give you. There's not a piece of software. There's not a hack for this sort of stuff. It's running a professional business. And there is a truism in what we do. If you own a business, it doesn't matter what your feelings are. It doesn't matter what you're good at. It doesn't matter what you like to do or don't like to do. There's certain things you just have to do. Well, I don't like the admin work. I'm not good at the admin work. Business doesn't care. Taxes don't care. The world doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you're good at, what you're bad at, what you like, what you don't like. You just need to do some things. A lot of it is unsexy, mundane, sometimes even boring stuff, but doing them consistently every day, all the time, not extreme, consistent, is the key to business success. So if you guys need Oscar, I can certainly send you a job costing template, nick@nickslavik.com. I usually give my email address in these show notes and things like that. I'm there for you. We can do that. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to just bump over to IG real quick just to see if we got any other comments before I stop for today. If you guys got any other quick questions, we can do that. Otherwise, I think we're going to close the show out today because it is unbelievably beautiful. And I'm going to go spend some time with my family today. I was traveling this week. So, all right, everybody, just trolling through LinkedIn, going through YouTube, going through Instagram. Man, this is awesome. All right, everybody. Again, Colorado Springs, baby. I can guarantee you this is going to be a singular event in the 140-year history of this amazing organization. You will hear stories about this for decades to come. Be there. I'm telling you, take the time, work on yourself, work on your business, be there with other people, your people, and get something done this year. We'll see you all in Colorado Springs in February 2025.